All right, everyone, it is 10 minutes past the hour. So, welcome to our fall 2025 trivia. So, before we get started, just a little welcome. I'll turn it over to Dr. Gallagher to get us started.
Guys, thanks so much for entering the waiting room. Here we go. Jennifer Watson. Jennifer Watson down then. Uh, thanks so much for coming out tonight. This is we're on like 15 or something or more now. Yeah.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
for a long.
And we're gonna keep going for our trivia contests tonight. And so thanks for all for coming. This is sponsored by the Students Dentistry team and also the Predent Mentor Map. Predent Mentor Map's a resource, a free resource for predental students to use to get an idea of the current and updated statistics, get some mentor guidance, as they're applying to dental schools. And it's something, if you guys could help us out with that, sign up or give us any tips, tricks that you think we should add to it, we'd really appreciate that. So thanks for coming out. Let's do it.
All right, let's do it indeed. So, name of the game, the same as every time, but if you are new, there are 15 multiple choice questions, and that's not true. There's 14 multiple choice questions and a special slider question tonight to test your oral pathology skills. Time and accuracy are important. The quicker you answer, the more points you will receive. However, your answer has to be correct, so make sure you are putting the correct answer as quickly as possible. There are 20 seconds per question, but the timer will automatically end if everyone has answered. This is indeed a special Halloween theme this season, as we usually do around fall. So let's get into it. If you want to stay updated on when our trivias are, be sure to follow us on social media so that you can keep track of all things goings on, especially our quarterly trivia events, so that you too can play and win some prizes. And with that being said, we will start with our practice question just to get everyone used to Kahoot. What option best describes you? It's always good to know our audience. Are you a practitioner or doctor, a resident, a dental or medical student, or a pre-dent, pre-med, or none of the above? All right, so looks like we've got mostly residents and pre-dents. So this is interesting. I will say that we've got some random trivia questions, so it really is anyone's game this evening. So let's kick it off with question number one. How many bones are in the adult human skeleton? Is it 183, 206, 254, or 276? How many bones in the adult human skeleton? Very good. No tricking you guys. 206 bones in the adult human skeleton. Now, of course, some people get some extra bones in them, some extra ribs, some extra bones elsewhere, but on average, the vast majority of the time, there are 206 bones in the adult human skeleton. Our spooky, scary skeleton, starting off our Halloween trivia. Let's go on to question number two. But first, let's see how things are starting off. We've got Dash, Asham, and Mammal 2 rounding out our leaderboard, but there's only a 10-point difference between the leaderboard and our fourth place challenger, Go Go Histo, but it is early in anyone's game. Let's keep moving on to question number two and keep on our bone themes. How many bones are in the human skull? 8, 14, 22, or 30? How many bones in the human skull? Very important for the dentists among us. It is 22. There are 8 bones of the calvarium. There's 14 facial bones. Combined, that is 22 bones of the human skull. Very good to the 5 of you. All right, we're shaking things up early. Still, anyone's look at that, a complete overhaul of our leaderboard here with a new top 3, but still 13 questions to go. So let's keep moving on. This is our slider question. Find the number that best fits. How many liters of blood are in the average human body? Between 0 and 25. Make your selection by moving the slider where you think the number of liters of blood are in the human body. Let's see how well we can feed our vampires among us. Between 0 and 25 liters, how many liters in the average human body? Let's see how we slide up. It looks like lots of people on 7, but the correct answer is actually an average of 5. And looks like quite a few people got that. That's great. Very good for those of you that knew that. 4 people got that correct. And those that guessed 7 were included in our range, so they will also get some points for it. But the majority of people got that spot on. Good for you. Excellent. Candida is on a roll with 3 correct answers, batting 1,000 here. And we've got Meet Me at the AOT joining our leaderboard. I did see that earlier and thought that was funny. But still, anyone's game. Going on to question number 4. How many people were poisoned in 2023? Something truly spooky. How many people were poisoned? Around 20,000, around 200,000, around 2 million, or around 20 million people? And this is in the United States, so that'll narrow it down. Around 2 million people were poisoned in 2023. So lots of people undershot that guess a little bit. And let's see how we answered that. Cheese is batting 1,000 now, but our leaderboard is unchanged. This is where I stole that data from. There were exactly 2,080,659 people poisoned in 2023 based on America's Poison Control Centers. All reported cases of human poisoning were reported and reported out. I did look for a more current report, but this was the last one that was published in December of 2024. So something to look forward to in December of 2025. I will say that it was a decrease from 2022, so hopefully less people were poisoned last year. Something truly spooky. In case that wasn't spooky enough, what was the most common way someone was poisoned in 2023 based on that report? Painkillers, household cleaning substances, antidepressants, or cosmetics? How were people poisoned? What was the most common way that people were poisoned? This is all people, adults and children. Painkillers. Taking too many painkillers was the most common way that people were poisoned. I listed these in order. So the second most common was household cleaning substances, third was antidepressants, and fourth was cosmetics. But indeed, taking too many painkillers is creating a poisonous situation and can lead to serious issues. So make sure that you're following directions whenever you're taking painkillers. Not too many people got that. We do have a little bit of a shakeup with Cheese taking that first place spot and Meet Me at the AOT slowly creeping their way up. But we are only 1/3 of the way through, so let's see how we do. Which mind-controlling pathogen causes mice to lose their fear of cats, which later allows it to infect humans? Is it Enterobius vermicolis, Giardia, Strongyloides, or Toxoplasma gondii? Now, all of these are real pathogens. I did not make them up, and that all of them do infect human beings. But one of them can cause mind control in rats, causing them to not be afraid of cats, causing them to be eaten or attacked by cats. And yep, I didn't fool anyone there. It is Toxoplasma gondii. Very good. Toxoplasmosis is the name of the condition when it involves human beings. No real shakeup there. Looks like everyone was pretty on top of that one. This is the life cycle of toxoplasmosis, where that very brave mouse gets attacked or eaten by a cat, leading to shedding of the infection, which can then later infect human beings. That is why it is very important if you are a person bearing a womb and you have a cat, make sure that you are not cleaning the cat's litter box if you are pregnant. Number 7, what animal is responsible for the most human deaths annually? On our morbid theme, is it a hippopotamus, other human beings, mosquito, or snakes? What animal is most responsible for the most human deaths annually? That's right, mosquitoes. Mosquitoes leading to mosquito-borne illnesses such as malaria, dengue fever, and Zika virus, amongst many, many others, leads to the most amount of deaths annually. Second place is usually a tie, depending on the source, between other human beings and snakes, though that number does change based on how you're doing your metrics. But mosquito, far and away, most deaths annually. Very good. We're now reaching that halfway point. Let's see where our standings are at halfway. Not a lot of movement tonight, but it is a tight game where the everyone is very much close. James has 3 in a row, but these points are very close together. Anyone's win. There's only 42 points separating first and second place, so it's only a matter of seconds separating our leaderboard here. Moving right along. In the 1830s, this outfit was believed to protect you from what disease? Maybe you want to dress up like this for Halloween. Would this protect you from cholera, malaria, the plague, or dengue fever? And it didn't actually work, by the way, but this is from real medical literature from England in 1830. Did this protect people from cholera, malaria, the plague, or dengue fever? This was thought to be protective against cholera. Obviously, it was not, but that was popularized in medical literature in the 1830s in the United Kingdom. A little bit harder tonight and much more trivia. So we've got Cheese with the higher answer streak of 8, keeping them in that first place spot. But again, a tight race. And as you can see, we've got a lot of random trivia, and we're learning a lot tonight. So hopefully you've learned something new, and we're having a little Halloween fun. So let's check out question number 9. Which of the following serial killers was convicted using bite mark analysis? Was it Ed Gein, Ted Bundy, Jeffrey Dahmer, or John Wayne Gacy? I am recently watching the Monster series about Ed Gein right now, but all the other ones have also had many notorious stories about them, but only one had a bite mark analysis at their trial, and indeed it was Ted Bundy. People may think Jeffrey Dahmer because of the whole cannibalism thing, but yes, Ted Bundy had a unique bite pattern based on positioning of the lower canines and lateral incisor, which led to use during Ted Bundy's murder trial. So, yes, probably the most famous usage of forensic odontology was in the Ted Bundy case. All right, only the top 3 got that right. So I'm sure there are some people off the leaderboard that are just nipping at the heels. They're going to make their way up. And let's go on to number 10. Lycanthropy is the delusional belief that one can turn into which creature? Now, this is used in fiction, but it's also used in psychology. Can you turn into a bat slash vampire, a mummy, a wolf slash werewolf, or a witch slash warlock? This is a true psychological diagnosis for someone that believes it can turn into one of these creatures. Which one is it? It is indeed a werewolf or a wolf, lycanthropy. You may remember that from fictional literature, but indeed it is a psychological term as well used in psychiatry and psychology. And Jeeves has entered our leaderboard, so we can ask Jeeves, and Jeeves will know what lycanthropy is, amongst other answers. Very good. Welcome to Jeeves to the leaderboard. Shaking it up as we round the corner into our final third of questions here. Number 11, horripilation is the clinical term for what condition? Fainting from fear, fear-induced hypertension, visual-induced tachycardia, or goosebumps? Again, that word is horripilation. What is that medically? What does that cause medically? Goosebumps. Yeah, whenever you see the abbreviation PIL, usually implies hair. Horripilation is hair standing on end, which is goosebumps. Very good. Ophelia, our highest climber there, up 3 places. We'll see what the fate of Ophelia is coming up in the last round of questions. See, I know my pop culture. We'll keep going here with question number 12. Where can you find 139 human skulls, a megacolon, 2,374 inhaled swallowed objects, and a president's tumor? At the Mutter Museum, the Grayface Museum, the Morbid Anatomy Museum, or the National Museum of Health and Medicine? All of these, by the way, are indeed real museums. All of these are real museums in the United States, but only one of them you can find all of those things. It is the Mutter Museum in Philadelphia. Oh, no, yeah, Philadelphia. Yeah. The Graveface Museum, I believe, is in Brooklyn, New York, and features a lot of true crime. The Morbid Anatomy Museum obviously shows morbid anatomical things, and then the National Museum of Health and Medicine shows a lot of artifacts. But only at the Mutter Museum can you find all of these objects, including President Grover Cleveland's oral cancer. I did talk about that in one of my YouTube videos. So if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, make sure that you do so that you might have a leg up in future trivia in the future. But only one person got that right. Let's see if that affects our leaderboard. That was a tough trivia question. Let's see. And Cheese somehow knows all these answers. Way to go, Cheese. Let's keep moving right along. Home stretch here. 13. Morphine is named for Morpheus, the Greek god of what? Is it fear, magic, dreams, or healing? All of these do have Greek gods associated with them, but only one is associated with Morpheus. Indeed, dreams. And you can imagine that taking morphine makes you a little bit loopy and maybe has you seeing things that aren't real. Indeed, Morpheus was the Greek god of dreams. Very good. And looks like people in the leaderboard got that right. We now have a 1 point game, ladies, gentlemen, and others on the call. It is 1 point separating first and second place going into our last two questions, with third not too far behind, only around 312 points behind. So it's a tight race here with some hard questions left to go. Two questions left. The penultimate question is coming to you now. Number 14, the chainsaw was invented for what medical purpose? Was it invented for teeth extraction, childbirth, lobotomy, or cardiothoracic surgery? Yes, the chainsaw was invented for medicine, for one of these purposes. And I'll show you a picture of that once we've got our answer here. But indeed, it was childbirth. I kid you not. The chainsaw was invented for childbirth. And if that's not the scariest question that we've had so far, I don't know what is. Obviously, we don't have much of a shakeup here since no one got that question right. I think that's the first time in the history of trivia where it's been zero people got that right. So we're all learning something tonight. I'm going to show you a picture of the rudimentary chainsaw. Yes, indeed. This is a rudimentary chainsaw with a rotary blade on it that was manually rotated. The original procedure was called a symphysiotomy, where this was inserted and used to cut open the pubic symphysis of the hip, allowing for widening of the birth canal. However, this to me looks absolutely horrific, and later was adapted for use in cutting down trees and for Jason Voorhees. But yes, the first use of a chainsaw was in childbirth. Hopefully that doesn't give anyone nightmares. The last question, which of the following clinical term represents the extreme fear of Halloween? Is it samhainophobia, arachabutyrophobia, plutophobia, and pagonophobia? Now, all of these are indeed real phobias, but only one of them represents extreme fear of Halloween. One is the fear of peanut butter, one is the fear of money, and one is the fear of beards. But one is the fear of Halloween, and it is Samhainophobia. Samhain is one of the original names of Halloween in Celtic traditions. Therefore, the extreme fear of Halloween is Samhainophobia. Arachabutyrophobia is fear of peanut butter, and especially peanut butter sticking to the roof of the mouth. Plutophobia is fear of money. I would hate someone that had that fear. And pagonophobia is fear of beards. So I apologize if anyone on the call has pagonophobia as I continue to grow out my beard. But five people got the last question right. Let's see if that has any effect on our leaderboard. It was a very tight game. So let's see how things shake up. Before we do, a little bit of suspense. Thank you for coming to this season's trivia. I hope you learned something. It seems like the first time that we had no one get a question right. And so hopefully you did learn something and had a little Halloween fun. Happy Halloween out there. Stay safe. And be sure to follow us on all of our social medias so that you can stay up to date on our next trivia night as well as all of the other cool stuff that we're doing. So let's see our leaderboard. In third place with 9,108 points, it is James. James in second place with 10,000. Canada, which means our first place winner is Cheese. Excellent. Congratulations to our leaderboard and our runners up, Jeeves and Meet Me at the AOT. If the top leaderboard could please include your name and your email address in the chat, we will be sure to get you your prizes. But thanks again for coming, everybody, and enjoy the rest of your evening.